All right, everybody. Here's the truck. I'm going to give you a little explanation of everything that's going on with the truck. I've been getting a lot of questions. Thank you so much for all the support. Honestly, I didn't expect it to be blowing up this much. I appreciate everything you guys are looking at and everything you guys are commenting and everything. It's it's blown my mind. It's crazy. But yeah, here's the truck. 2005 Silverado, original single cab 4x4. It was a long bed. Obviously, I bought the crew cab. Actually, it was two crew cab beds, both dented on opposite sides. Cut the bed in half, put them together, and started to make the body kit, the wide body. Cut the whole side off. Obviously, this is just bare metal. There's no body work. There's no hammering, dollying, nothing. This is basically just how it is after welded and stuff like that. Obviously, I still got to do all the bondo and dolly and hammer, all that, straighten it out a little bit more. But I pulled it out. So it's basically 2 inches wider over here, and I got another like 5 inches this way. So it's about 7 inches wider than stock. So it's definitely wide. It's like a pit bull. Cab. Basically, the original floor was completely shot. They dropped some kind of chemical. It was all rusted and everything. So I just cut the whole floor out and decided to body drop it. Body drop basically 3 inches, remove the cab mounts, move those down 3 inches, cut the bed floor out. It's a mess right now. Cut the bed floor out, but you can see how narrow it is. I raised the bed floor about 7 inches, keeping the stock, trying to keep the stock trim as much as possible. Extended this 2 inches, so that way it's a little wider on the inside so it doesn't rub when I get wider tires. Right now they're only 8 inches wide, but I want to go up to 10. It's a mess right now, and then here's the new floor. Kind of, you can see it in the other pictures, but floor mounted pedals. I moved the engine 2 feet back. Stock dash. I wanted to run it with a stock dash and everything, so that way I could kind of make it stock center console, so I could kind of make it look like as factory as possible. I got the seats. They're both adjustable, move up and down, swing back and forth. It's comfortable. 6-speed manual T56 from a C5 Corvette. It's going to be mid shift, so the shifter is actually going to be right here, which it actually sits perfect in the opening of the cup holder of the center console. So it worked out great. Obviously, since the C5, the transmission is in the rear. So actually the input shaft goes all the way back, which is the rear diff is originally supposed to go here. So I took the diff off, and then I built this section here to be able to get to the Trailblazer SS transfer case. And then you can see here the Trailblazer SS front drive shaft going all the way up to the front diff. Obviously I had to extend it, which I have to get made after everything's said and done. But eventually I'm going to do the tunnel cover. I mean, the transmission tunnel. All that's going to be able to be unbolted, so I could actually service the transmission from here. And also, it's kind of hard to see here, but I'm also the firewall here where the engine is actually into the cab. I'm also going to make that unbolted, so that way I could unbolt it and I could actually service it back here. But overall, you could basically, it's almost sitting stock. I did lower the seat more, so that way you're sitting a little lower. Had to redo the whole firewall, cut the whole firewall out, both sides, the whole thing completely, push the engine back 2 feet. It lines up basically with the cowl. So the whole thing is, I mean, all this is empty, really. Corvette accessory drive, so everything's nice and pushed in. Trailblazer SS intake manifold. The reason I'm going to keep that one is apparently it's like the best flowing one for, hey, with the longest runners, you know. It is going to have AC, but I bought one of the aftermarket little AC units with a small blower and stuff. It's going to fit obviously in the dash inside. Stock location. The front diff, I raised it up 3 inches, and because of that, I was able to fix the angles of the front CV drive shafts. So that way I actually have good angles since I wanted the truck riding low. I think it's pretty much the lowest 4x4 I've ever seen. Raised the front control arms 5 inches. Raised the lower control arms 3 inches. Had to notch, it's kind of hard to see. Had to notch the frame for the axles to run through it. This is Atomic Fab coilover conversion for 4x4 Silverados and Sierras. I had him make me a custom mount that's actually longer than the one that it comes with, because obviously the truck is so much lower. But suspension works great. I had original gearbox, but with the front diff being raised, it didn't basically line up correctly. So I got rid of all that, and basically I went to a rack and pinion setup, and I built this whole structure here so I could put my rack and pinion, and so I could have mounts for the lower control arms. And this will also serve as a mount for the 2 turbos, which I'm putting 2 turbos right here in the front. So that way they're not being held up by just the exhaust manifold piping. What else? But that's pretty much how I got it to ride this low and keep my 4x4. Front grille, the headlights I'm gonna do something crazy with. I'm gonna remove the lenses, and I'm kind of gonna make it projectors in each little bezel and kind of like mold it all together. It's gonna look good without the lenses, just a little bit more aggressive. The front grille, got rid of the bow tie. It is just gonna have just 2 lines basically going across. The front bumper, you could see it's real close. I didn't want it sticking out. Like I always thought it looked a little goofy coming out like that. But the fog lights, this whole section right here is from a 2015 Silverado front bumper fog lights. So they're squared. And then I made a big mouth over here. Inside here, it's gonna have the actual inlets for brakes, for the front brakes. I'm gonna run ductwork and actually have brake coolers, keep the brakes close, cool. I'm gonna build a front splitter going across the whole thing. I'm gonna close these also, these little openings right here, smooth that all out. What else? Eventually I'll get 6 piston calipers in the front, 4 in the back. I want this thing to stop on a dime as best I can. Since the whole truck is body dropped, it's completely flat and smooth underneath. The frame does not hang down. It's right there with the body. There's no rear bumper yet. I do have the original rear bumper, and I'm contemplating whether to keep the original bumper and kind of tuck it in a lot. Basically, maybe notch the bed right here to kind of bring it in, like how the new trucks have it, that they're kind of like notched in there. Or put a roll pan. I think the roll pans are kind of outdated. And I kind of like the fact of the bumper sticking out a little bit. And then I'm also going to build a wing. So that way with the built wing coming out, and it'll match the same distance coming out from the rear bumper. So if I have it about 3 inches sticking out, the rear wing will be about 3 inches. You know, it gives a nice little touch. But that's pretty much it. The rear was lowered. Well, since it was a long bed originally, I cut the 2 feet off the rear. I moved the shackles and hangers, the mounts, I moved them up. Still on leaf springs. I got True Track, I believe it's called, for the leaf springs. Still contemplating getting a 4-link with a 4-link, parallel 4 links with a Watts link and coils in the back. I might be doing that sometime in the future. Hopefully sooner than later. So I don't know. I gotta see. I gotta see what I want to do. It's the original 10 bolt. Eventually I'll build it. Front diff, I'll build it. I'm hoping for 1,000 all wheel. I think the Trailblazer SS has the like a 60-40 split. I think it's, yeah, something like that. 60-40 split. So it'll be about 600 to the rear, 400 to the front. But that's pretty much it. Wheels are 275 60s. 17s Toyo Proxies. I wanted it to look like an ass truck, more or less. I think the wheels fit perfect. Even, you know, the turning, there's no rubbing at a 4-inch ride height. Obviously, it's a little higher now because it's sitting on the dollies, on all the dollies. The good thing about working in the garage right here and the truck being so short, I could actually turn the truck 360 degrees without taking it out. So it works out perfect on these little dollies. But that's pretty much it, man. Yeah. I'll keep you guys posted as best as I can. I'm not good at this video stuff, so we'll see.